sent her an article about this guy, Jack Dunn.
I know Mike on that. Like to think we're a little bit more.
Really ice ball. Yeah, my friend, this guy, a friend, this guy I know was at the ice ball. The whistle.
So that's why I'm saying.
That's his last word.
Stay standing.
Good evening, everyone. If they could stand for our pledge of allegiance and afterwards for a moment. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I ask everybody to take a moment for reflection. It's 24th anniversary of September 11th, and think of those that in our town that we lost, as well as to our first responders, some of which are suffering some very devastating results from their service there as well. Thank you. Denise, has this meeting been published according to the Open Public Meeting Act?
Yes, Chairman.
Can I get a roll call of commissioners, please?
Commissioner Davis, Commissioner DeWise, Commissioner Fisher, Grillo,
Here.
Parikh, Roberts, Scott, and Chairman Zabrowski.
Here. Commissioners, we have our minutes from August 14, 2025 for approval. Has anybody had a chance to review those? Are there any need for any changes or edits? If not, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Davis, DeWise, Fisher, Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh, Roberts, Scott, and Chairman Zabrowski.
Commissioners, if you don't mind, I'd like to go out of order a little bit and go to discussion and actually 11B for the Tova Living redevelopment agreement. Beforehand, Mike, I think you have a few words.
I certainly do, Chairman. Thank you. Commissioners, last week and earlier this week, I thought we were in a position to approve a redevelopment agreement tonight. In fact, I'd finished drafting it, working with council, worked out the language, and had prepared a resolution, sent it in to Denise. A day ago, a technical issue came up, not anyone's fault, but there's a technical issue where there are conflicting provisions in a couple of regulations. I think we've worked through a way to get that approved, but I want to be sure that we're all comfortable with the language of that. So we're going to move that to the next meeting for approval. Revised copies will go out to the commissioners. I know council is here tonight for the redeveloper. If you wanted to entertain them now, Chairman, that's your call.
Yes, Mr. Wisniewski.
Chairman, Executive Director members, thank you. The council correct. We had optimism at one point. We would be adopting an agreement. We would be adopting that, but actually with a resolution raised, one of which around affordable housing. Municipality has adopted affordable housing plan that specifically mentions the site and mentions the number of units based on full presentation. It also talks about affordable housing requirement of being set at 20%. The problem is the borough's 40 say that in an area that is not zoned residential, that gets converted to residential, the obligation is developed in 50. So there's this mismatch between the ordinance and the resolution. We struggle a little bit about how that gets reconciled in order to adopt the resolution tonight, and I think the answer is it's probably not right do that tonight because there's some wordsmithing that has to happen. As you can understand, and you appreciate this is not the first time you've dealt with affordable housing, the ability of a developer to be able to meet the expectations of the municipality is in part a function of how many market rate units can be built at the same time. And as we said in that very first presentation to the redevelopment agency, when we originally came in with 81, it was based on a very rough concept plan. And we said that economically, that was really just on the razor's edge. We were able to redo the plan to come up with 100 units. And while we can do those 100 units, our expectation had been based on municipal ordinance, be able to do 15% or 15 units. And Chairman, you had asked at the last meeting we were at, would we consider special needs units? And we said, sure, we would. We weren't quite prepared to make it 100% special needs. And so there's some math that has to happen on our part. We wish we had known about the adoption of the affordable housing plan. Those notices went to the property owner. We're not the property owner, we're contract purchasers. So we kind of got left out of the loop, not because of anything the municipality did, potentially something our counterparties did. So we now need to try to find a way to homogenize this, to make it work. Certainly nobody wants to see the agency adopt a resolution that creates problems elsewhere within the municipality. And at the same time, we certainly can't operate under a resolution that violates our ordinance. So I think council and I will have some wordsmithing to do to find a couple of things. How do we reconcile those differences? But also, what's the correct number of affordable housing and how many of them are special needs units? The state of New Jersey provides financial assistance to developers for special needs units, but not for 100%. And that becomes part of the economic equation that we have to go. And so I hope that we're able to work this out. I look forward at the next month, maybe being here for an adoption. I'll be here alone because of the holidays next month. My clients won't be able to be here, but I think it would be just sufficient to have me here. We have also prepared elevations, architectural plan, and a site plan. Certainly would be prepared to share that with the agency next month, because one of the other aspects of this, should you adopt the resolution, is you're going to have to recommend to the planning board and the mayor and council amendments to the redevelopment plan, because as you know, parcel J in the redevelopment zone requires 5 peak or minimum. This is 4 and change, 4.5, and does not permit residential. This does, this is requiring residential, and it would follow the amendment that the Borough Council did almost 20 years ago now for the existing Gillette property. So with that, Mr. Chairman, Council, thank you for the opportunity. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Chairman, Commissioner, yeah, Mike and I have been in touch for a couple of days about this. You've been in touch with it, and so you know, there is an extensive research, and I think we should have some positive conclusion on this at the next meeting. So I think it's appropriate to move this to the next meeting.
Let me just add one additional thing. Like any contract purchaser, we have deadlines that we have to meet with our counterpart. And so time is of the essence that we try to find a way to resolve this for the next meeting. Otherwise, we may be forced to pull out of the arrangement.
We appreciate that, and we'll do the best we can there.
Understood.
Yep, absolutely. Is there any other questions that anybody in the commissioners have? Otherwise, we appreciate your attendance and the explanation as well.
Chairman, thank you, members. Thank you.
We ask her for that report. Do you want to come take that on before we go?
Yeah, which report is it? Oh, her report, the engineer, planners,
Yeah,
and she's on?
she's on call, right?
Huh?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, she's muted.
All right, so again, if I beg a little indulgence, I'd like to move the engineer's report up next.
Planners report.
I'm sorry, the planner's report. I apologize. Veena apparently is with us virtually from India. So I'd like to get her
It's
report.
3 a.m. there.
Yeah, if that's possible. Veena, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
Thank you, Veena. Thank you,
No
Veena, for
problem.
coming at the early hours there.
No problem. No problem. Actually, do you want me to talk about the transit village now or
Yes.
I okay.
Well, specifically, I'd like you to talk about the NJ DOT's report on the transit village that,
Okay.
and I see your name is listed in that, so I'm sure you're fully familiar with it.
Right. Actually,
This
I
will, Veena, this is just in a continuation of our efforts for
yes.
redevelopment at the Unston Road and Route 9.
Correct. So actually, I had mentioned this when the first time I talked about Transit Village at Sarah's meeting. And what happened is it's almost 5 years ago that NJ Transit had first reached out to me for a letter of support because they have been working on this bus rapid transit for many, many years. It is part of a report, and they were applying for funding from FTA. And I remember because I was already working on the TOD plan or the Transit Village plan. At that time, Old Bridge had given a letter of support. But later on, so almost 3 years ago, FDA granted NJ Transit 400,000 to conduct a study and write a report about how like the transit village designations or creating different TODs would help the entire Route 9 corridor. And I was heavily involved with the report that was generated by NJ Transit because Old Bridge was one of the stops. The line or that bus rapid transit system, the line starts from Howell and ends in Old Bridge or vice versa. Towards New York, that's the last stop. But there are 17 stops and 17 intersections. And there was a consultant that was hired, Perkins and Eastman, that helped to create a report to see each of these intersections and what can be done to improve them. So when it came to Old Bridge, there were three intersections. First one was the place where commuter parking lot is, the Old Bridge commuter parking lot, and that benefits Sayreville the most because even when I finished the Ernston Road study, that Ernston Road study area directly abuts the transit village area for Old Bridge. And the way the area is created is they create a quarter-mile radius and a half-mile radius. So this our Sayreville's Ernston Road touches the half-mile radius, the circle. And that is why I had reached out to NC Transit, the planner, and said, is there a way we can benefit? And we definitely will, because see, half a mile radius is a 10-minute walk, but you're right outside that half a mile radius. So redevelopment of Ernston Road will probably be around 15-minute walk to the Old Bridge commuter parking lot. So, but this study has been going on. The Perkins and Eastman finished their study. There was a concept that they suggested for the area in Old Bridge, but now in Old Bridge you have to go through multiple steps to get that transit village designation. In Sayreville, I'm trying the same with NG Transit and NG DOT on the other area that is part of the housing plan because that abuts a commuter parking lot directly, and it, in my opinion, would majority of those properties would qualify for redevelopment. The same way, Ernston Road, even if we don't get technically a transit village designation, we can still use the same principles to redevelop that site. And regardless, see, the transit village designation is important because you then are eligible for a lot of funding in terms of infrastructure improvements. But if Old Bridge gets that designation and this area is directly abutting it, it is going to, benefit with the infrastructure improvements as well. So that's in a nutshell. I am working on two areas for Selvar. So one is the one with the parking lot which abuts Parkway, and then Ernston Road. I think next would be Ernston Road for the redevelopment plan. And then also I would need authorization from Sera to conduct an area investigation study for the second area.
Thank you,
I
Veena.
can,
I,
no
I know
problem.
we had a conversation that you are still pursuing with it, NJ Transit, to extend to the Anston Road area as a
Yeah.
designation. Hopefully some point we succeed that because, of course, the transit village in Old Bridge will benefit us directly by us, our redevelopment plan, but, further designation will help businesses there, and us getting grants. So I would like to continue to pursue in addition to the, park and ride, on a Parkway entrance, designation also.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody? So Steve, I know Steve had run into this article brought to our attention. So Steve, you want to add?
Sure, briefly. So first off, Veena, congratulations on multiple quotes in an article. Good for you.
Thank you.
Actually, one question that I have, Veena, is this a
Uh-huh.
segregated right of way, or is this going to be kind of what exists already on Route 9? Do you know?
No, they're trying to work within the right of way. So it's not an additional right of way. That they never discussed a new dedication.
I think transit villages are a great way of funding development and enticing development. And bus rapid transit is a terrific way of moving large amounts of people to
Yes.
New York City. So I think there's nothing but upside to doing this. So I think it's a great opportunity for Sera to get involved. So well done, Veena, and I thank the executive director for pushing forward on this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Any other commissioners have comments, questions for our planner?
You can tell her good night.
Yeah, Veena, before I do say goodnight, one question I would have, and you said it's about a 15-minute walk, but I guess my question is, within these designs, is there any thoughts of micro, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word, but micro bus routes? And that is, again, to kind of allow for, so there's not additional vehicle traffic or but the kind of tamper down that pedestrian traffic too. Did they ever, is that ever part of a program?
You know what? That's an excellent question because I remember when we conducted public meetings in Old Bridge, there were a lot of questions asked by residents if there will be added service. And to that, Transit was answering that it's up to the municipality to provide any shuttle services. Then they will make sure that there is direct access to the residents in and around to the commuter parking lots. However, providing that service is something like a jitney or a shuttle bus is the responsibility of the township then, or the developer even, who comes in. I
I
think
think
with
from the,
Ernston Road, there is, because I vaguely remember, there is something that Middlesex County also has a service that loops around that area. Maybe the service is not that great, but there is something that the county has also.
yeah, they have an area-wide transportation that can be, that they could employ it here. They're doing it very efficiently. I mean, they're doing it in New Brunswick. But I think,
Yes.
Veena, isn't Onston Road East has a challenge, but Onston Road, west of Onston Road, there is some way to connect to well, I mean, there's a walk, but there is a
There is a
connection
pedestrian
possible
connection.
by
Yeah,
the,
that's.
yeah.
There
So
is, there is a pedestrian connection. And I was
Right.
part of I was one of the reviewers for that extra space storage facility that has also got an approval for expansion. And at that point also, we were reviewing to see how there can be sidewalk connections. So there definitely will be pedestrian connections in between.
And Mr.
And
Chairman, I
with,
think part of your question also goes to what I've seen a lot of discussion on is the concept of micromobility, right? So
yes,
shuttle buses are great, but as we see today, a lot of people can afford electric bicycles, and people use those to get to their transit hub. And then in terms of where Sera would get involved is there's actual construction policy that needs to go into those things, right? If you've got a large number of people storing bicycles that use lithium batteries, that's going to be a challenge for the fire department to be aware of, can we extinguish those fires if that occurs? Do we have adequate bicycle storage that the developer builds in their building? Do we have it at the station? Do we have adequate bike lanes or pedestrian lanes, right? So with this comes the functionality of the micro mobility. So I think you bring a good question up, but also kind of falls into the future of Sera as we think about how buildings are built. The way that people commute to those buildings will change.
Thank you, Steve.
right.
And Vina, thank you very much. We're sorry
No
that
problem.
we had to wake you up. Hope you can
No
go back to
problem.
sleep as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
24/7.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vina.
No problem. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, on to our attorney's report, Mike.
Thank you, Chairman. On the agenda, the commissioners will see a resolution approving an amended MOU with the DEP. As I mentioned at the last meeting, in 2013, the agency signed its first MOU. It was very simple form. It outlined what the DEP was going to do and what the Sera with its BDA, Brownfield Development Area Steering Committee would do. Fast forward 12 years, and the DEP has come up with a form that it seems they want to use it for everyone, even though a lot of it doesn't apply to us anymore. For instance, there are things in there that say you will have your first Brownfield Development Area meeting within X months. Well, we had that meeting 13 years ago. But they would like us to adopt it. Their new form has municipality signing as well. They've confirmed the municipality is not involved. It's only Sera. So Himanshu or the chair will be signing both as the applicant and as the steering committee, and we recommend passage. No, that's it, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Any questions for our attorney? Not move on to engineers report, David
Justin?
or Justin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had a meeting today with the folks from Riverton, where they gave me an update on the site, and they also brought to my attention one issue. But first, for the update, they completed the off-site water main installation that goes along Cross Avenue. Curbs at Peter Fisher Boulevard are being installed. Infrastructure for Quick Check continues because they expect construction for the Quick Check building to begin next month. Curb and utilities are complete for the Bass Pro Shop parking lot, and paving is expected to begin shortly. Work has begun on the interior of the Bass Pro building. They received their permit to begin that work. And the pump station building is now substantially complete. So
Justin, does that mean that Bass Pro Shop is now in the construction phase, that it's kind of?
They're both going simultaneously. Yeah, originally, the plan was for them to finish the outside and work on the inside, but due to scheduling, they're going at the same time.
Justin, I'll also bring up this amendment to the plan that we have to talk about.
Did you say you want to do it? Oh, you may. Okay. So I printed out a plan for everyone. During this meeting, they brought up a concern that at the Gateway Service Center, they currently have a tenant. I was told I could announce it. It's the Panera Bread. The building, on the plan, you see I highlighted an area. The Panera Bread requested that their building is reoriented. So currently it's facing in the north-south direction. They'd like it in the east-west direction. Their concern is that for a change like this, typically you might need to go in front of Sarah again and in front of the planning board. So the question is this a minor enough change where they don't need official approval? Because with this, also the orientation of the parking lot changes. So there are some changes. It's kind of up to the board if this is deemed a big, large enough change that they would need this full approval.
Mr. Chairman, I just jump in. I mean, the building's really the same size, number of parking spaces are going to be the same size. It's not going to be any less. It's a shift so that they can lock into a contract with this entity. And as a result of that, they're saying if they have to go through and wait the normal process, because the normal process would be for them to come to us for a formal site plan amendment. And then after we act upon it here, to go to the planning. They're saying that time is of the essence, okay? Now, there's no major thing change. If you wanted to go through and accommodate them to help them, my recommendation would be we have to go through it. We'll give them some direction to say this is generally okay, but they need to go through and give us printed plans, okay, that will come before you, and you will take formal action on them, but you will not make the planning board wait until after we take action. Okay, that saves them 30 days in the process. Actually, maybe even 60 days, depending upon the timing of the meetings. So that's what they're asking. And I feel that if you wound up going through and did it with that condition, that you get to see the plans, okay, and you're allowing them to go to the planning board, since this is not increasing the square footage of the building, it's not increasing or decreasing the number of parking spaces, it's doing some shifts within certain lots. I think that's reasonable to accommodate for, okay, and I think it helps justify keeping their project moving, but that's up to the board. The other option the board has is no, go through and file an amended application, come before us, and then go before the planning board.
Oh, I don't think it's Commissioner, I don't think it's a good idea because this is one of the major project for us. The problem with this is one of the major project for the borough. So we have to do whatever we have to do to accommodate and make changes so that they can, completion of that is important for us. Unfortunately, Riverton, since I've been here, I've seen this a last minute request and I have directed now, they got to come to us. I can't imagine that this just came out 4 o'clock today when Justin called me about 4 o'clock. I mean, this must be in a conversation, but regardless of that, I would say we have to go through, I agree with David that this is not a major change as long as they're not changing the number of spaces. They're not, it's just the configuration of building direction is what I understand. Am I right? Just they want, instead of southbound, they want it westbound or something.
That minor changes to the parking lot.
Facing, that's the only major changes. And so the only concern, and I told Justin then, I said, I don't see supporting them in any problem, but and David, you have to assure that they're not going to completely then next month, planning board has a completely different,
That's the risk that they're going to have to take. But my recommendation to Justin is after you decide what it is you want to do, for him to call the planner, okay, to go through and review it with the planner to determine whether they think it has to go before the planning board. Okay, and that's up to the planning board. Okay.
You're talking about planner for the planning board?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
but I think for your protection, okay, if you were to say tonight, hey, we're okay with these changes, okay, subject to you going through and providing a map that hardlines these so that we have it for our records, I think that's a reasonable way to facilitate them and to keep the project moving.
And then they come back later on with a complete for us to take appropriate action.
That's
Even though
correct.
it's retroactive, we should have a formal actions and all the information on file.
That's correct.
Okay.
And like,
I see no problem,
yeah,
Chairman.
and like I would just say for reference, this is probably not the first time requests such as this has come up before.
No, we've probably amended the concept plan 6, 7 times. We've amended the plan for this area at least twice. And they have come in the past. What they're basically asking for is us to waive the requirement that they come here first before going to the planning board. They're not really asking us to bless a new design. So if we waive the requirement that they come here first and authorize them to proceed to the planning board, so long as they file the plans at the agency, that's a pretty simple step and it saves them a
One
month.
other step though, and that is they're looking kind of for a blessing of the concept. If, as long as we don't have a problem with that concept, then what you said is correct. They'll go through and do it, they'll hardline the drawing, then they'll submit it to you. Whether they need a formal, okay, hearing, that's another thing. That's something Mike will have to look at. Because this is not, in some other towns, this would be a minor change handled by the engineer's office. Saraville hasn't worked that way. I always want the agency to know what's happening. So I don't think it's an unreasonable request.
So long as we're gonna, now we're, nothing in front of us, so we're gonna depend on your expertise and saying that, yes, this, then we should.
We do not see a problem with what they're proposing, or subject to getting it in hard line to make sure that there's no zinger. And they haven't ever done that to us, so I don't think that would be a problem.
Yeah. And I think we have done this in past, Chairman and Commissioner, because, when when the client comes in and their original plan and now the requirement from clients is different, then, it's appropriate to provide them a changes.
At the appropriate time, Chairman, I can offer an on-the-record resolution for the commissioners to vote on.
Are there any questions?
Just a comment.
Yep.
I'd like to just emphasize my support of what Sandra said. We're in a lot of times competition with other municipalities to try to get good ratables. And we don't want to be looked at as a municipality that is so strict and makes it difficult for companies that are bringing in good type of buildings for us. And I think this is a good way to show that. Not going to cost us anything. We'll move the project fast.
I just have 2 quick questions. Just, I think it would be good to get on the record. And I'm like Ken, I think let's make this as easy as we can. Mr. Cornell stated that the building is essentially going to be the same size and the parking will be the same amount of parking.
Yes.
Does that hold true also for lighting, vegetation, and drainage? There's no significant changes?
No significant changes, no.
Okay, I wanted to make sure we get that on the record. Then I know Dave knows the rules, but this process that we're explaining is not prohibited in any way in the redevelopment agreement, right? We can do this within the parameters of the agreement.
We can waive various provisions, and we have in the past in order to expedite things.
Terrific. Then I think we should, and we should get this project moving.
Any other comments or questions? Can we take a vote on it?
I would propose a resolution as follows, that the redevelopment agency approve the change in the concept plan as shown on the drawing prepared or marked up by Jay Cornell, changing the orientation of the building from north-south to east-west, and authorize the applicant, SSA, to appear before the planning board without having to have formal site plan approval from the agency, provided that the formal site plan documents are submitted to the agency engineer for review.
Just one minor amendment and the other minor modifications to the parking lot and roadway. On the plan.
Those are the little orange items?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're minor, but I think we should make sure it's clear.
Good.
Good.
Can I get a motion?
I will make that motion.
A second? Roll call?
Commissioner DeWise, Fisher, Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh, Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Justin, anything else on the engineer's report?
That's it. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Moving on, executive director's report.
As always, Zach will take care of the report.
Good evening, everybody. So number one on the executive report, the Sera website and digital presence. Sera continues to advance the development of its website, available at seranj.gov. The updated platform is designed to enhance transparency, expand public access to redevelopment information, and strengthen the agency's overall communications. In addition to development of a companion mobile application is completed and will be available for download. We just found out this week it was completed. And so shortly it should be available for Apple and Android devices to make it even easier to access. Number two is the Tova Living update. As we heard earlier, Tova Living is moving forward with plans to develop an age-restricted residential community on the property adjacent to the Gillette Towers off of Main Street. They currently own and manage that property. Because the project requires amendments to the existing redevelopment plan, Sera's attorney, planner, and engineer are working closely with Tova to evaluate the proposed changes and advance practical solutions. Redevelopment planning update. The Sera planner recently presented the Ernston Road Mini Mall area study. Following review, the planning board recommended the area be designated as in need of redevelopment and rehabilitation, which was subsequently approved by the Borough Council. The council has authorized Sera to prepare a formal redevelopment plan for the area. If anyone has any questions on anything?
Thank you, Zach. I just want to add one more thing. Earlier, summertime, late summer, Mayor had asked Zach, myself, Denise, to get involved and we're hosting a Festival of Light, first time in the Kennedy Park. It's a Festival of Light International Day event. It's going to have music, dance, ethnic food, ethnic shopping, clothing. And so a number of volunteers are working with us in putting this event together. We have done extensive fundraising, thanks to many people, many businesses and professionals supporting this event. So I would like to invite, I know Tushar Parikh is also one of the volunteer, our commissioner is also a volunteer. Chairman is a volunteer on that. And we've been working extensively and hoping for a great event. We would like to extend the invitation to all commissioners. We'll send official invitation, but it's on October 12th, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. in a Kennedy Park. It was originally October 11th, but school pulled out another things and they have a band competition on 11th. So we switched to October 12th, Sunday. It's Sunday, October 12th. So I hope you all will come and enjoy some. I wanted to set up our own Sera booth, but I don't, because we are working on the event, I don't have an ability to, we don't have the ability to manage. We have asked Riverton to be present because if we get a 2,000 or 3,000 people visiting that night, that will be a good exposure for Riverton because as they go into the residential phase, people will be, if they're there, they can explain to people, there may be some, we can generate interest. This will help our businesses too, bringing more people into the town. So hopefully you all can join.
Questions or comments for our executive director? Not moving on, authorization for payment of bills. Oh, and can I get approval for
All the reports.
all the reports?
Second.
Need roll call?
Commissioner DeWise, Fisher, Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh, Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Now on to authorization for payment of bills, total amount $25,095.06, broken down as operating total of $20,982.06, escrow total $4,113. I need a motion, if there's no questions, a motion to approve payment of the bills.
I will make that one.
Roll call?
Commissioner DeWise, Fisher, Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh, Scott, and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. I'm going to move our budget discussion down to after we close public comment. So I'm going to move on to adoption of 2025-09-38 resolution. The resolution of the Cerebral Economic Redevelopment Agency approving an amended MOU with NJDEP regarding cerebral brownfield development areas. Can I get a motion to
I will
approve?
make that.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Commissioner DeWise, Fisher, Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh, Scott, and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Now on to commissioners' comments. Do we have any? Yep. I'll open up to our commissioners for any comments or questions. And Zach, if you would.
I don't know, commissioners, I mean, you must have got a notice that, I think we forwarded a notice from Denise. She's moving to another position within the borough. She's moving to the court. We have gone through an extensive interview, and I think we're 23rd meeting of September 23rd meeting, borough will appoint new staff, because remember, this is a joint shared service agreement, and borough does the appointment. But it was a posted in-house. It was a posted on our website, and we had about, I believe, 7 or 8 resumes, and went through three interviews, narrowed down to 2 that was conducted by myself, and we narrowed down to 1 person. And we'll share her resume with the commissioners. We wanted her to be here tonight, but she had, children's, she has kids, so she couldn't make an arrangement. But I think she's listening to this online.
And if she is, we do welcome.
Yep.
We welcome her. But at this moment, we would like to take the opportunity to thank Denise. One with her certificate of recognition that says in grateful recognition of your dedicated service as the administrative assistant and recording secretary of the Cerebral Economic and Redevelopment Agency. Your professionalism, commitment, and tireless efforts have greatly contributed to the success and progress of the agency. Your work has left a lasting impact, and your dedication has been deeply appreciated by your colleagues and the Board of Commissioners alike. We extend our heartfelt thanks for your service and wish you continued success and fulfillment in all your future endeavors. It has certainly been a pleasure. We appreciate you. You came in seamlessly to really do some fantastic work for us.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but the best of luck as you move on to your new venture. But we do hope that you could always consider this a home for you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to echo Chairman's comments. I think when I took over the agency, and I mean, I don't want to go back into history, but all the issues, and I mean, Denise was a blessing. It was just unbelievable. She picked up and did and worked with everybody. I think Wayne can will give you the same.
Anytime we needed a special investigation, looking in for different information from the past, he was able to accomplish that. He was very helpful for us because we were sort of new to the whole situation.
Open up our appreciation, Denise.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I see you shop local.
Of course,
Thank you.
of course. And Denise, any words as well?
I have to let you guys know, this was a new position, never did administrative work. And I really feel like I helped. I learned a lot. Thank you, Mr. Shah. Thank you very much. And it was a really good experience for me. I was able to flourish, and that's really all I ever wanted in a career. So I thank you.
We worked as a team. It's team. It's Denise, Jack, and myself. We were team and got everything accomplished. So thank you, Denise.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, moving on. Can I get a motion to open for public portion?
Don't move.
Second.
Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody from the public like to speak? Anybody from the public like to speak? Kevin, any words? Can I get a motion to close public portion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we need executive session?
We can talk about budget, right?
At this moment, at this time, then, I'd like to go back in order to, discussion over annual budget. Open with Wayne, or would you?
Wayne will go over the detail. I just want to say, it's that time again. It's like we just did this. And now, we have to adopt the budget by the first meeting in December or November, right?
Definitely by the first meeting in December.
Right.
So if November would probably be.
Right, 60 days prior to the start of a new year. So we're hoping that we can accomplish this, introduce next meeting, adopt in November, and we're close to that. Remember where we came from. We used to adopt the budget after the year is closed, so. Yeah, so Wayne will go over the detail of the budget.
First of all, the total is, the grand total is the same as last year, okay? And fortunately, we were able to keep it at the same figure with having more, spending a year going, working with the invoicing by the professionals and the other miscellaneous expenditures that come in. We were able to fine tune the line items better, especially the professionals and the planning and audit fees. They came out better than we had budgeted in a 25 budget, or they should. And I know we still have 4 months to go yet, 3 months to go yet, but it should, what we have in this budget should work. The revenues, unfortunately, our revenues haven't changed any appreciably since what we anticipated for this year. We don't expect it to. But especially with the interest on investments, the interest rates should be going down after this month for all of us. So that we weren't able to anticipate more than what we're showing here. Any new administrative fees that come on, they will obviously result in an excess to our current anticipated amount of total of $260,000. So the lease agreements are those that have been in place. The Verizon and the Riverton leases. One is for the billboard and one, I guess, for tower site. Other than that, there's no other thing to explain. There's a 5%, approximately 5% increase anticipated in a salaries account over last year.
Except for the Assistant Executive Director, Zach, we have put in, he was at $25,000. We are recommending $30,000, $5,000 increase for him next year. I think everybody would agree that he's doing just tremendous job.
I mean, if anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer them.
The introduction, we're gonna have a formal documents, the state required documents for introduction at the next meeting. But, so now this is gonna be basically converted into the state form. So any questions, we're here to answer. I just want to see an agreement that we can move forward with this to prepare the document.
Questions or comments? Good.
Downtown improvements, that includes the Main Street stuff, or that's?
This is basically, we had $100,000 budgeted last year for the Main Street, yes. All the discussion we had, we haven't been able to implement, so we're carrying that same amount this year in the next year's budget.
And you might as well just check the spelling of it when you do the final version.
Yes, we will.
Empowerment.
Oh. Where?
Missing an R.
Empowerment.
Oh.
Can't send stuff to Trent if you don't spell it right.
Yeah, that's me.
Anybody else? Because questions, comments?
If it's only spelling error, we were good. We did good.
So if this is okay, we'll have the auditor prepare the official document, which is probably about 30 or 40 pages more than these two that are holding it, that you have in your hand. And it'll be prepared for the next meeting for introduction. So with a public hearing in November, which can be changed and moved to December if need be. You know, if something comes up or we have to make changes to it, amendments to it. So,
Thank you, Wayne.
okay.
It looks at this moment that looking for a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Roll call or voice vote, all in favor? Thank you, everybody.